Hello, viewers, and welcome to Spotlight here on Hope TV, where you look and live. And on Spotlight, we are all the time doing our very best to bring to you perspectives about issues that are happening in our society, having a critical look from a Christian perspective in a way that helps us to begin to reflect on these matters, in a way that helps us also gain a language to discuss these issues in our community and with others, and most important also in a way that would help you build a base for action. And one of the critical issues in the society today has been for a while is the family. And we want to focus our commentary on this edition on the family. And talking about the family, one of the popular statements by spiritual leaders, and that has also been picked up by the Christian followers, is that the family is under attack. Now, the family is under attack from who? The family is under attack from the devil. Now, the solution in this case would then be to attack the devil so that he stops attacking the family. But it is hard to attack the devil if a husband is the devil's advocate. It is hard to expel the devil from a family if the wife seduces demons. It is hard to exorcise evil from the family if the children's favorite play is in the dark. What is this saying? Now, before we say the family is under attack, let us first consider how the devil got into attacking position. And you will find that the devil attacks the family more from within than from without. What makes us say that the family is under attack? What is the evidence? There are numerous reasons, but let's just name three here. We say the family is under attack when there is adultery. The family is under attack when children are rebellious. The family is under attack when the conflicts and all the things happening in the family end up in separation and divorce. We can add a fourth one and say that we say the family is under attack when it becomes a scene of crimes such as abuse, even murder. Now, all the above and other reasons as well that you can add to these ones, all these have one thing in common. They make marriage nonsensical. They make marriage not worth it. They make marriage regrettable. Now, many people who are at this breaking point, stay in the marriage because of the children. But for perspective's sake, let's remember that the children share in the strain between the husband and the wife. The children also are caught up in the pain between their parents. The children too are beaten by the rain. A man and a woman may be in a marriage for the children, but they were not the reason why the marriage began. Children were not the primary reason why the marriage began. Many people say that they get married because they love each other, and therefore love is the primary factor. Now, when love leaves the center of a marriage, its center place is not replaceable by anything else. The marriage then becomes centerless. It becomes a centerless marriage. Children cannot replace the center because they are not equal to it. Children come into the marriage to enjoy the center, not to be it. Children come to experience and grow in the love of their parents. In the absence of love, marriage has no center, only responsibilities. Many marriages have shifted from the base of love to the base of responsibilities. Jesus asked Peter, "Do you love me?" This makes love a precondition. It's only after meeting the precondition that Jesus goes ahead to invite the action, which in this case in the passage was feed my sheep. Now from here, we again find a place we can draw the Christian principle of the centrality of love. Love precedes actions. Love inspires actions. Love informs actions. Love explains actions. In a sound marriage, love is the reason for responsibilities. Responsibilities without love make marriage a relationship of duty. Going back to the expression marriage is under attack, it is critical that we realize that love is the best defense from any attack. Where there is love, there is security. Love, the reason for marriage, is also its prime security. To strengthen the defense of a marriage is therefore to strengthen the love in the marriage. The beauty of this is that when we focus on strengthening the center, the walls grow with it. The stronger the center, the higher the walls. When we grow the reason for marriage, fortification becomes a byproduct. So, in addition to saying the devil is attacking the family, we must continue and ask, who invited him? What invited him? For where the devil appears, something in someone has invited him. When the wall is cracking, check the center. Here are some cracks at the center that lead to cracks in the wall of marriage. 1, accumulating vices. There are vices that are hostile to love and to marriage. For example, drunkenness staggers the marriage. Adultery pollutes the marriage. Self-centeredness suffocates a marriage. A lying tongue misleads a marriage. Truth is that the devil is a vice peddler, but he has many willing buyers. The more you stock up on vices, the more your marriage is chewed up. And if we continue with that, on that vice line, it will not be long before the vices demand your marriage as their price. Friend, values caress your marriage. Vices cannibalize it. Another thing that causes cracks at the center is not counting the cost. Marriage is hard work. And for perspective, it is correct to say it is a good, hard work. But many people like the marriage part, but not the work part. Soap operas have taught many that a kiss clears all challenges. But think about it. One staring reality is that to get into a marriage is to be ready to be a widow, to be ready to be a widower in just a matter of time. Now that's no child's play. Marriage is not only for better, it is also for worse. To be in marriage is to be ready for extremes while simultaneously working for the best. Another thing that causes cracks at the center is ignoring the principle of mutuality. Now, there are people who have a marriage, but in that marriage, really, when they look at it, they have no spouse. They're in a marriage, but they have no spouse. Many cry and say, I do all the work in our marriage. My spouse became disinterested. Marriage operates on a mutuality principle. Each must do their part. To leave one to do all the forgiving with no forgiveness to expect is to create a sinner and saint situation. The burden of unforgivables will soon lead the sinner into a depression. And then at that point, the saint then loses their sainthood, because sainthood should not lead the other to a depression. Now, marriage is for two and by two. Another thing that causes a crack at the center is leaving marriage to autopilot functioning. Ask yourself, if your workplace or your professional body takes you for 4 seminars a year to improve on your skills so that you can be able to perform and be more productive, and so they can also renew your practicing license, what makes you think that your marriage will run on ancient knowledge? Love needs new knowledge. As your experiences diversify, so must your knowledge expand. Read a book, attend a conference, be part of a wisdom roundtable. You need to continually up your knowledge for your marriage to travel through the times. Another thing that causes a crack at the center is cutting God out of the picture. Now, there are some people in marriages who act as if the spouse were a property they created for themselves. They mistreat the spouse, they mishandle their spouse, they harass their spouse, they frustrate their spouse, they demean their spouse. Now, a spouse will tell the other, I can do what I want to do with myself. This to mean that they are not ready to take any counsel from their spouse. They arrogantly speak as if they are without any authority over them. Now, submission for them is a strange zone. The fear of God does not come into play in their marriage, even if some of these people who do these acts are actually spiritual leaders and Christians. Now, be reminded, your spouse is a child of God. If you hurt them, it is just a matter of time before their Maker comes to avenge for them. Now, finally, one of the things that causes a crack at the center is shifting love from a necessity to a favor. When you are wooing your spouse to convince them why they must marry you, now expressing and showing love was a daily activity. You even gave it a touch of convincing creativity. Sophistication now makes you see showing love and showing affection as a weakness. You have reduced love and its creativity to an infrequent reward. You demean the pleas from your spouse, asking for more loving actions. Friend, remember that love is not a reward, but love is the air marriage breathes. This has been Spotlight. Thanks.